Seems like the world is just in so much agony right now. But the truth is that it's not natural. It's abnormal, and it's not how human beings are actually supposed to exist on the day to day. We are living in a society that is artificial, which is odd because societies are actually supposed to be normal to an extent. But the world that we live in today is completely antithetical to the individual. What do I mean by that? You see, we live in a world that is a large-scale machine. And unfortunately, in this machine, you and me, we are cogs in that machine. We are parts, we are gears, we are bolts, we are screws, nails, boards, planks, and we're replaceable. I'm replaceable. I could get fired at my job anytime. As a matter of fact, that's actually what happened to me when I first got home from the military. I don't care to go over the details of it again, but essentially, I was fired. And it was probably discrimination, but that doesn't matter now because what's done, it's done. I was fired. I had to go ahead and adapt, and I had to figure out how to live life, and I did. It wasn't easy, but I made it along. Agony is a real bitch. It's a real problem. And unfortunately, we live in a society that glorifies and focuses and hyperfixates on agony, nihilism, self-hatred, self-excuses, coming up with excuses, and then we apply it to ourselves. I am completely convinced that the black pill is not helpful. It's not edifying. It doesn't lift people up, and it does not give people light or hope. Now, people keep arguing, I think wrongfully so, that the black pill is not prescriptive, that it's descriptive, that it's just describing the nature of the reality of the world that we live in. But there is a humongous flaw with that statement. It is not describing things from an impartial perspective. It is describing things to a malleable audience, to young people who can be influenced by its contents. And unfortunately, the black pill has never just spoken to you like from the perspective of a classroom. It's not spoken to you from the perspective of what may be true and what may not be true, because the truth is that you can't prove the black pill is correct. Like, you cannot it's a worldview. It is a worldview. It's basically a religion, right? That's what the black pill is. It's a religion. Some people believe it, some people don't. Some people think it's evidently true. And frankly, you can't prove it, right? But regardless, it's not helpful. It's not doing good for the people that apply it to their lives. Because what typically happens when someone shares the black pill, it's usually a person who is also nihilistic or is a doomer or is somebody who is just pessimistic. And frankly, if you're around somebody who is like those characteristics or those traits or those qualities, they don't lift you up, they tear you down. They give you a million reasons to quit, to give up, and to lose. Even if the black pill itself does not describe those things, the people that surround themselves with the black pill absolutely and fundamentally are. They are. And they are absolutely creating a system of pessimism, which, by the way, unrealistic pessimism, right? They will come up with a reason every single time that you might have a route or a plan or a goal that can lead you to something better in life. And they will shoot it down with pessimism and with nihilism and with just anti-human prerogatives. And it's sad because these people might actually believe this. If you're a young person and you're on the internet, Lord have mercy for you, seriously, because the internet is just, I mean, it's always been pretty crazy, but it's getting worse in my opinion. I really do think it is. But if you're a young guy and you're seeing all this stuff on the internet, I think it's very important that you get off. There's legitimate good things, but you need legitimate real world guidance from somebody that's in real life. Okay, I'm just some guy on the internet. I've said that in some of my other videos. I'm just some dude who posts videos because I like to. And I think I've got some points about life that I'd like to say and I'd like to share. And I've got some experiences that I'd eventually like to divulge into. But the fact is that I am just a guy and I don't know everything, and I can acknowledge that. I do acknowledge it. I don't know everything. There's a lot of things that I'm probably wrong about. And I'm gonna have to, go to sleep in that bed one day. That's just how it is. Like, I'm convinced that the carnivore diet is the proper way to live as far as food is concerned. And I'm convinced that if we eat a carnivore diet, it's going to lead to a long, happy, and healthy life, potentially well past 100 years. And I want that. But I could be wrong. And if I am wrong, obviously it's going to reflect, right? That's how truth works, okay? It doesn't matter if you're really good at telling lies. If you abide by something, the truth is always going to come out. It's going to. So I just don't understand, or maybe I do understand the black pill, but it's not helpful, guys. It's not helpful. It doesn't lead you to anything meaningful or worthwhile. It leads you to just give up. It's the natural inclination. If you tell somebody that the world's dark and grim and sad and evil and depraved and meaningless and pointless, they're going to think those things logically. And they're going to come from a logical viewpoint. And the logical viewpoint in that kind of world is nothing good. And we need to do better for young men and young women, all of us, because it's all a humongous psychological operation to make you, the viewer, and me, the guy who's making videos, quit and give up, when life can be really, really damn good and it can be very fulfilling. We just need to stop focusing on the BP and start focusing on real life. Okay, because life is good and it can be so rewarding. It's not always easy, but it's not always the worst either.